Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., born November 20, 1942, is an American politician serving as the 46th and current President of the United States. A member of the Democratic Party, he served as the 47th Vice President from 2009 to 2017 under Barack Obama and represented Delaware in the United States Senate from 1973 to 2009. Joe Biden raised in Scranton, Pennsylvania, in New Castle County, Delaware. Biden studied at the University of Delaware before earning his law degree from Syracuse University. In 1968, he was elected a New Castle County Councilor in 1970 and became the sixth youngest senator in American history when he was elected to the U.S. Senate from Delaware in 1972. At the age of 29, Biden was a longtime member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and eventually became its chairman. He also chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee from 1987 to 1995, dealing with drug policy, crime prevention, and civil liberties issues, led the effort to pass the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act and the Violence Against Women Act, and oversaw 6 U.S. Supreme Court confirmation hearings for Robert Bork and Clarence Thomas. He ran unsuccessfully for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1988 and again in 2008. Biden was re-elected to the Senate 6 times and was the 4th most senior senator when he resigned to serve as Barack Obama's vice president after they won the 2008 presidential election. Obama and Biden were re-elected in 2012 as vice president. Biden oversaw infrastructure spending in 2009 to counteract the Great Recession. His negotiations with congressional Republicans helped pass legislation including the 2010 Tax Relief Act, which resolved a taxation deadlock, the Budget Control Act of 2011, which resolved a debt ceiling crisis, and the American Taxpayer Relief Act of 2012, which addressed the impending fiscal cliff. He also led efforts to pass the United States-Russia New START Treaty and helped formulate U.S. policy toward Iraq through the withdrawal of U.S. troops in 2011. Following the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, he also led the Gun Violence Task Force. In January 2017, Obama awarded Biden the Presidential Medal of Freedom with distinction. In April 2019, Biden announced his candidacy in the 2020 presidential election, his third presidential campaign. Biden became the presumptive Democratic nominee in April 2020 and reached the delegate threshold needed to secure the nomination in June 2020. In August, he announced his choice of U.S. Senator Kamala Harris as his running mate. Biden and Harris won the general election with 306 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 232. On January 20, 2021, Biden became the oldest sitting president, the first from Delaware and the second Catholic. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. was born November 20, 1942 at St. Mary's Hospital in Scranton, Pennsylvania, to Catherine Eugenia Jean Biden and Joseph Robinette Biden Sr., the oldest child in the Catholic family. He has a sister, Valerie, and 2 brothers, Francis and James. Jean was of Irish descent, while Joseph Sr. had English, French, and Irish ancestry. Biden's father was initially wealthy, but suffered financial setbacks around the time Biden was born, and for several years the family lived with Biden's maternal grandparents. Scranton fell into economic decline during the 1950s and Biden's father could not find steady work. Beginning in 1953, the family lived in an apartment in Claymont, Delaware, then moved to a house in Wilmington, Delaware. Biden Sr. later became a successful used car salesman, maintaining the family in a middle-class lifestyle. At Archmere Academy in Claymont, Biden was a standout halfback and wide receiver on the high school football team. He also played baseball. Though a poor student, he was class president in his junior and senior years. He graduated in 1961. At the University of Delaware in Newark, Biden briefly played freshman football and as an unexceptional student earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1965 with a double major in history, in political science, and a minor in English. Biden has a stutter, which has improved since his early 20s. He says he has reduced it by reciting poetry before a mirror, but it has been suggested that it affected his performance in the 2020 Democratic Party presidential debates. On August 27, 1966, Biden married Nelia Hunter, 1942-1972, a student at Syracuse University, after overcoming her parents' reluctance for her to wed a Roman Catholic. The ceremony was held in a Catholic church in Skaneateles, New York. They had 3 children. Joseph R. Bo Biden III, 1969-2015, Robert Hunter Biden, born 1970, and Naomi Christina Amy Biden, 1971-1972. In 1968, Biden earned a Juris Doctor from Syracuse University College of Law, ranked 76th in his class of 85, after failing a course due to an acknowledged mistake when he plagiarized a law review article for a paper he wrote in his first year at law school. He was admitted to the Delaware bar in 1969. In 1968, Biden clerked at a Wilmington law firm headed by prominent local Republican William Prickett, and he later said, "Thought of myself as a Republican." He disliked incumbent Democratic Delaware Governor Charles L. Terry's conservative racial politics and supported a more liberal Republican, Russell W. Peterson, who defeated Terry in 1968. Biden was recruited by local Republicans but registered as an independent because of his distaste for Republican presidential candidate Richard Nixon. In 1969, Biden practiced law first as a public defender and then at a firm headed by a locally active Democrat who named him to the Democratic Forum, a group trying to reform and revitalize the state party. Biden subsequently re-registered as a Democrat. He and another attorney also formed a law firm. Corporate law, however, did not appeal to him, and criminal law did not pay well. He supplemented his income by managing properties. In 1970, Biden ran for the 4th District seat on the New Castle County Council on a liberal platform that includes support for public housing in the suburbs. The seat had been held by Republican Henry R. Folson, who was running in the 5th District following a reappointment of council districts. Biden won the general election, and took office on January 5, 1971. He served until January 1, 1973, and was succeeded by Democrat Francis R. Swift. During his time on the county council, Biden opposed large highway projects he argued might disrupt Wilmington neighborhoods. On December 18, 1972, a few weeks after the election, Biden's wife and 1-year-old daughter were killed in an automobile accident while Christmas shopping in Hockessin, Delaware. Nelia's station wagon was hit by a tractor-trailer truck as she pulled out from an intersection. Their sons Bo, age 3, and Hunter, age 2, survived the accident and were taken to the hospital in fair condition, Bo with a broken leg and other wounds, and Hunter with a minor skull fracture and other head injuries. Doctors soon said both would make full recoveries. Biden considered resigning to care for them, but Senate Majority Leader Mike Mansfield persuaded him not to. Years later, Biden said he had heard that the truck driver allegedly drank alcohol before the collision. The driver's family denied that claim, and the police never substantiated it. Biden later apologized to the family. Thank very much for watching.